And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week.
And we enter the weekend having celebrated Thanksgiving and gone through Black Friday. Thanksgiving, a great American holiday, and I hope that each of you had a blessed, peaceful, relaxed, and truly happy Thanksgiving. We have so much for which to be thankful. We are blessed by God in so many ways that we simply can't count all of the blessings of this life. But to have a heart of gratitude is all that's asked of us, and I hope that everyone had a chance to celebrate, observe, reflect, and enjoy Thanksgiving Day, despite the fact that prices this year were up into astronomical levels. Not only the prices of food, but the prices of gasoline. The American Farm Bureau put forth a little chart that told us specifically how much each item on our Thanksgiving table cost beyond what it did just last year. Think about that. And we saw in the month of October, consumer prices skyrocketing, the highest jump in 1 month in over 3 decades, going back to the days of George H.W. Bush. This, folks, is the Biden economy. And it's really a sad thing for Americans because higher gas prices, higher food prices, soon to be higher home heating costs are really going to have a devastating impact on family budgets and on the overall economy. We have to get to a point of economic growth once again. And what stimulates economic growth? Lower taxes, not higher taxes. A better regulatory system, and as I've said for several months and several years, in fact, an end to public corruption. A thriving economy really does create prosperity for all, and a rising tide really does lift all boats. Because of when we taped last week, the Rittenhouse verdict wasn't yet in, but it now is, and everybody's had a chance to have their say. But it is interesting to note that in the wake of the acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse on all counts by a jury of his peers, the left and the media continue to do a couple of things. One, double down on their original narrative. This began by CNN and others incorrectly stating that there was a racial component to all of this. They've got to somehow play the race card constantly. These were not black victims as was originally reported, nor is there any evidence that Kyle Rittenhouse was a quote-unquote white supremacist, which even the White House tried to tag him with. Instead, you had a jury, and if you have any faith in the jury system, you have to say it worked its way. Even if you don't like the verdict from time to time, you've got to say that our jury system is a good system. And you had a pretty bad prosecutor in this case. I don't know about you, but the guy constantly reminded me of Will Ferrell, for crying out loud. And I think the worst moment, perhaps the defining one because it was a very visual image, was when he stuck that gun in the face of the jurors with his finger on the trigger. You know, somehow our friends on the left really don't know all that much about handling firearms. You know, the sad part of this is that the left too often uses things like the Rittenhouse trial as a means to divide our country and our Commonwealth at a time when we need to be brought together and unified and united. It's really troubling that they do that. So I'm hoping that right now we can talk about something upon which I hope we can all agree. As we come to the end of National Adoption Month, I'm hoping that all of us understand, believe, and will say that adoption is a truly joyous and wonderful thing that allows kids that wouldn't otherwise have the love and nurture and affection of good parents to have that through adoption. As you may know, I'm an adopted child, and I'm so grateful to my birth mother for doing the right thing and to my adoptive mother for giving me all the love, support, and nurture that any kid could ever hope to have. I'm so incredibly blessed, as I know many other children who have been adopted are. So, as we come to the conclusion of November, let's say thank you to all those who have adopted children and support those who continue to seek to adopt children. And speaking of my mom, please allow me a quick second for a shout out to my mom, Louise Giroux, who today celebrates her birthday. Those of you that know her indomitable spirit, her loving heart, her tremendously spiritual soul, and all the good things about her. And that picture you're seeing is going to be iconic, I believe, because that's really her. And I think it exemplifies the woman that she is. So happy birthday, Mom. Almost 100 years old. I'm hoping that you get there. I love you with all of my heart, and I hope your day is very special. And finally, we'll talk more about this next week, but the Biden administration is now talking about releasing part of the strategic oil reserve as a means of dealing with rising gasoline prices. This administration and the one here in Pennsylvania, with their lack of real energy policy, are hurting consumers, killing jobs, stifling our economy, and we need to get things back to where we have sensible development of our energy and the ability to get it to market to make things better for consumers and for job creators. You know, it's interesting. Senator Kennedy from Louisiana had the best line of the week in my judgment when he said, "The oil is in Texas and Pennsylvania, but the dipsticks are in Washington, D.C." And for now, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.